Shri Guru and Gauranga, all Guru Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. So welcome to the morning Bhagavatam class. Today we are reciting a verse from Canto 3, chapter 33, Activities of Kapila, and we are covering text 28 and 29 today. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So text 28. Taddeha parataposo. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sorry. Okay, text 28. Taddeha parataposo. Api aksharascha asambhavat babahu malair avachanna sadhuma iva pavaka taddeha parataposo api aksharascha asambhavat Babau malair avachanna sadhuma iva pavaka taddeha parataposo api aksharascha asambhavat babau malair avachanna sadhuma iva pavaka. Prabhuji. Taddeha parataposo api aksharascha asambhavat babau malair avachanna sadhuma iva pavakaha taddeha parataposo api aksharascha asambhavat babau malair avachanna sadhuma iva pavaka taddeha parataposo api akrasascha asambhavat babau malair avachanna sadhuma iva pavaka. But word meaning taddeha, her body, parata, by others, the damsels of created by Kardama, posa, maintained, api, although, akrisha, not thin, cha, and adi, anxiety, asambhavat, from not occurring, babau, shown, malai, by dust, avachanna, covered, sadhuma, surrounded with smoke, iva, like, pavaka, a fire. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Her body was being taken, please repeat with me, her body was being taken care of by the spiritual damsels created by her husband, Kardama. And since she had no mental anxiety at that time, her body did not become thin. She appeared just like a fire surrounded by smoke. Purport. Because she was always in trance, in transcendental bliss. The thought of personality of Godhead was always carefully fixed in her mind. She did not become thin, for she was taken care of by the celestial maidservants created by her husband. It is said, according to the Ayurvedic medical science, that if one is free from anxieties, he generally becomes fat. Devahuti, being situated in Krishna consciousness, had no mental anxieties, and therefore her body did not become thin. It is customary in the renounced order of life that one should not take care any service from servant or a maid. But Devahuti was being served by the celestial maidservant. This may appear to be against the spiritual representation in his four hands. He, sorry, page. This may appear to be against the spiritual concept of life, but just as a fire is still beautiful even when surrounded by smoke, she looked completely pure, although it seemed that she was living in a luxurious way. And the next verse, I will read the verse and okay. Text 29. Swangam tapo yogamayam mukta kesham gatambaram daiva guptam na buddhe vasudeva pravishtadi. Swangam, her body, tapa, austerity, yoga practice, mayam, fully engaged in, mukta, loosened, kesham, her hair, gata, disarrayed, ambaram, her garments, daiva, by the Lord, guptam, protected, nam, not, bubudhe, she was aware of, Vasudeva, in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, pravishta, absorbed, the, her thoughts. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Because she was absorbed in the thought of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, she was not aware that her hair was sometimes loosened or her garments were disarrayed. Purport. In the verse, the word Dhaiva Guptam, protected by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is very significant. Once one surrenders unto the service of Supreme Lord, the Lord takes charge of the maintenance of the devotee's body, and there is no need of anxiety for its protection. It is said in the second chapter, second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, that a fully surrendered soul has no anxiety about the maintenance of the body. The Supreme Lord takes care of maintenance of innumerable species of bodies. Therefore, one who fully engages in the service will not go unprotected by the Supreme Lord. Devahuti was naturally unmindful of the protection of the body, which was being taken care of by the Supreme Person. So let's do Mangalacharan. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Kopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Deve Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Krupa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So today we are covering two verses, text 28 and 29. So the topic, the conversation between Kardama Muni and Devahuti and Mother Devahuti and Lord Kapila continued. And in this chapter, if you see, the Lord Kapila provided his instructions to Mother Devahuti and he left the house. And now the Mother Devahuti, she realized it. In the previous verses we learned that she realized the absolute truth, and now she is ready to practice whatever knowledge, whatever realization she has got, she has received from Lord Kapila. Now she is putting in a practice. Like a few weeks back, when we were discussing that realization in the normal sense, what is the realization means in a normal layman understanding. Like, so if you understand something, you think that is very important and you apply in your life, you practice daily. That is where realization. And some of the examples we discussed in my previous class, where we discussing about the realization. Like, suppose you are associated with the devotees and your spiritual master gave some instructions and senior devotees were giving many instructions, and based on your understanding you would like to do some austerity that would be helpful for your bhakti, to progress in bhakti. Then what you will do, maybe think that okay, I'll do some Ekadashi Nirjala, right? So if you plan to continue every Ekadashi Nirjala, of course there are some people they do Nirjala every. So what is their conviction? Nobody is forcing them to do nobody is forcing them to do this austerity, Nirjala. It is coming voluntarily from heart, because they believe that this austerity will help them to progress in bhakti. So that's why he is implementing, practicing that austerity. So the same way Devahuti understood that Kapila Muni, the Supreme Lord, is absolute truth, the Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavan, the three forms there in absolute truth, and that absolute truth is none other than his son Lord Kapila. So she understood, and in relation to that, with that realization, she was glorifying Lord Kapila, and then she started meditating on Lord Kapila by fixing her mind. So this is where the realization coming, and she was firmly fixed her mind on Supreme Lord. And if you see, we talk a little bit about the meditation, because in this two verses is very clearly, because we were discussing past few verses and these verses, what is the impact of this her meditation, how it is impacting her, what are the outcomes coming out of this meditation, we can discuss. So any meditation, the ultimate end of this meditation is coming into samadhi. In relation to Astanga Yoga, when we talk Astanga Yoga, Yama, Niyama, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. Dhyana is a meditation. The Dhyana, when you start, it will lead to Samadhi. Samadhi is the ultimate final stage. You completely absorb in the If you are focusing your mind on Supreme Lord, you will completely absorb. That is where we can see, in case of Devahuti, she is completely absorbed in Supreme Lord. And if you see, it is mentioned in this verse, the 28th, that her body has not changed, though, because she is completely absorbed in the thoughts, and her body was not thin. Her body, what it means, her body was not affected. If you see, generally our mind and body, two separate things, but it has connection. The way you feel, the way you think, the way you act with the mind, your body reciprocate accordingly. If you are having the positive thoughts, your body will reciprocate positively. If you have any negative thoughts, your body will speak. If you show the significance, if you are completely tired, your body significant. If you are mentally tired or the physical mentally tired, then your body will show that effect in by looking at you, we can understand. Okay, today you are not looking good, you are not looking well. So now the Devahuti, She completely absorbed without bothering about her material existence. She is not caring her bodily needs, and she is completely fixed in her mind. But since she is completely fixed in mind on Supreme Lord, this is a positive effect. So it's not something negative. So some people will have so much depression or many other mental diseases, and that will reflect in their body. They will not have a proper food. They will not have a proper sleep. Right? So many illness come in the body because of this mental. But in this case, what kind of mental situation Devahuti is in? It is positive thing. She was completely focused her mind on Supreme Lord, absorbed in one soul. So that is not a negative, but that is a positive thing. With that in return, what we can see, her body is not impacted by such meditation, not impacted negatively, particularly by such meditation. That is one of the things we can see from here. So it is not. And the second point Prabhupada was mentioning that Devahutis being situated in Krishna had no mental anxieties. And the other one is mentioned Prabhupada in this case that she was helped by, taken care by the celestial damsels created by Kardama Muni. So this is again Prabhupada was saying that when you are in the renounced order, you should not take help from any of the things. But in this case, Devahuti is not looking for their help. Since her husband created those servants, they are taking care. But she was completely not bothered. She was completely forgot her material existence, her bodily needs, everything she forgot. She was completely absorbed, right? So she is not caring what is happening to her body. It's not her wish that these celestial damsels are to take care. So her idea is she completely forgot her material existence. So her bodily needs, everything she forgot. That is why though the smoke is there, fire is there, even the smoke is there surrounding fire, the fire looks beautiful. That's what analogy Prabhupada was mentioning in the purport. Same way, the Devahuti is completely surrounded by the celestial damsel, but she is not impacted by those services. Her body was completely fixed and focused on the Supreme Lord. That is important thing we can understand. Now, how we can compare this one? Like we have Bhagavad Gita chapter, second chapter. Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dahina raso vajam raso pyasa param dushma nivartate. Param, the highest thing. When your mind is fixed on higher things, all the lower things, material things, you will not be bothered. It will not be impacted. The same thing we can see in the case of Mother Devahuti. Her higher focus is on the Supreme Lord. She is completely meditating on Supreme Lord, and then she is not bothered about her. Those lower things are not very much important at that stage. That's why we can understand. Same thing we can see in case of Mother Devahuti. And when we do this Astanga Yoga, when you do reach this meditation stage and the Samadhi stage, when in case of yogis, those who wanted to leave the body with a Samadhi, right? What they will do, they completely absorb and they fix their mind, and through the skull, the top of portion of the head, they want to get out of the body, right? When they are doing it, at that time, whatever consciousness is, whatever way you fix your mind, you will attain that position. If you are fixing your mind on Supreme Lord, the soul will be going back to his abode. But if you are something else, accordingly you will Antakali Chamaneva Swayam, that first Bhagavad Gita verse we know, right? So whatever you think at the time of death, you will attain the same position. So here, when you are in Samadhi state, when you have completely fixed your mind on Vishnu, so focusing on Supreme Lord and getting out of the body, so through the top of the skull, then you will be attaining the same thing. Not only that, the power of mystic yoga, the meditation is such that you will have so much power. Sometimes the fire will come and burn your body. After the soul leaves the body, with the power of that meditation, the Samadhi, the fire will come and it burns the body. Best example is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Any idea? Sati. No, so when you do the meditation, the Samadhi stage, when you are trying to leave the body, with the power of that meditation power, the body, the fire will come and it burns into ashes. The soul leaves and the body will self-burn. It's automatically it burns into ashes. Any example from Srimad Bhagavatam? Dhritarashtra. If you see, like after Mahabharata war is finished, and then Vidura and the Dhritarashtra was taking shelter of Pandavas. He is staying with Pandavas in Hastinapur. And Vidura came and he started speaking to Dhritarashtra, saying that, okay, all your sons have died and your body is now deteriorating, you are losing the power of the senses, why you are continuing here? Then he gave the instructions to Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra left the house with Gandhari and then he started doing this Astanga Yoga. Like if you see that verse, it was mentioned in the first canto. So on the bank of Sapta Sota, Dhritarashtra now engaged in beginning the Astanga Yoga by bathing 3 times a daily, in the morning, noon and evening, by performing Agnihotra sacrifice with fire and by drinking only water. This helps one control the mind and the senses and frees one completely from thoughts of affection, familial affection. So this is what Dhritarashtra was doing. Like the way Devahuti was completely absorbed, similarly Dhritarashtra is preparing himself to fix his mind on Hari, the Supreme Lord. For that he started doing the fire sacrifice and he's taking bath 3 times and he started only drinking water. With that, so he did all the Astanga Yoga practices and he got his body was purified and his senses were purified. He fixed his mind on Supreme Lord, and at the finally when his body was leaving, when he was leaving the body, fire came and complete body burned, and Gandhari also entered into the fire. So that is the potency, the power of this meditation and the Astanga Yoga. So when you fix your mind on Supreme Lord and you perform, that sometimes if you are leaving the body, that kind of potency we can see in this example. This is one example where Dhritarashtra example. So what it proves that the Astanga Yoga, the devotees, when the devotees follow the Astanga Yoga, because devotees not just Astanga Yoga they are not following, with Bhakti they are doing this Astanga Yoga, we can see this kind of results where they will attain the Supreme Lord abode. Whatever the consciousness they develop, wherever they are focusing, fixing the mind, accordingly they will achieve the destination. So this is the power of Astanga Yoga. But now in the current age, so we have seen various examples in Bhagavatam. Yes, Astanga Yoga works for the devotee if they are practicing by Astanga Yoga with devotion, then they will attain the liberation. They will go back to Godhead. But is it practical in the current age? It is in our current, we need to do Yama, Niyama, Asana, all those things, and Pratyahara, so much disturbances surrounding us, and we have to go to secluded place and do all the things. It's not practical in our Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, what is the ultimate option? That is Bhakti. Like Bhakti is the Bhakti Yoga, or Bhakti is the ultimate easy approach. That is where we have seen so many places in our scriptures. The Bhakti Yoga is the ultimate. Even Lord Kapila was also mentioning that. He mentioned various things, but the Bhakti is the ultimate and easy path to get out of this material entanglement. So this is in Bhakti. When you see, so now Astanga Yoga we see the various steps. Yama, Niyama, this is Bhakti. Even from the nectar of devotion, from the Rupa Goswami, we have various stages in Bhakti. The first one is the 9 stages in Bhakti, devotion service. Bhakti is the Bhakti Shraddha. First you will have a desire to go get the spiritual realization. With that desire, you will start associating with devotees. That is where the sadhu sangha. While associating with the devotees, what you will do? You will understand how to do bhakti. How to go to perform various spiritual activities to progress in bhakti. So that you will learn by associating with sadhu, by sadhus, and by getting the association of sadhus. Then you will do bhajana kriya, where with the by mercy you approach your spiritual master with his instructions. You will try to understand. You will practice various services like listening the kirtan, or listening the scriptures, or reading the scriptures, singing bhajans. Everything you learn from your spiritual master. This is called bhajan kriya. So just you should have a desire. Then that desire leads to association of devotees. From the devotees you will learn how to perform various services. Then anartha nivritti happens. There are so many unwanted things were there in our heart, and that will be cleansed when we do our sadhana sincerely. This is the important stage in our devotion. The more serious on your devotion, The more anartha, the anarthas are eliminated sooner, the quicker will be the sooner will be your progress in bhakti. How soon you can remove your anarthas, that determines your speed of your bhakti, progress of your bhakti. So anartha nivritti stage is the one. Then you will have a steadiness. If you see the Bhagavatam first canto, Savai Pumsa Paro Dharma Yato Bhakti Adokshija Ahetuki Apratihata Yayatma Suprasidati. Ahetuki Apratihata means uninterrupted. Means when you get that uninterrupted in devotion, when you practice regularly, when you do study devotion, then you will be able to do the uninterrupted devotion. So this is how you like in the same thing. In Astanga Yoga we have various steps. We will compare those two, Astanga Yoga and Bhakti Yoga, the differences we can compare, but there we have different steps, here also we have different stages, we progress. It's not that as soon as you start Bhakti, you will become a great devotee. No, there are various stages you have to pass through, then you will become a nice devotee and a good devotee. So the steadiness you will achieve when you practice regularly, then you will get taste for the Krishna. Like we can see, I quote this example many times. When you start your practicing the Krishna consciousness, you may start with 1 round or 2 rounds. After some time, after a few years, you will be reaching 16 rounds or more than 16 rounds, right? Unless no one is forcing you to do this chanting, you are doing voluntarily and you are increasing your rounds on your own, right? How this is coming? It is inside you have got the generated some taste for Krishna, taste for some of the Krishna service, that is driving you to increase your rounds 1, 2, 3, 4 to 16 or more, even higher, right? This is what ruchi. When you do systematic practice of bhakti, sincere bhakti with steadiness and all the sincere sadhana, you will get the ruchi taste, so that you will progress on your bhakti. Then you will get the attachment. So you will be developing the attachment to Krishna and the Krishna service. So you started doing chanting, then okay, apart from chanting, I will do some other service. I will do nice garlands or I will clean the temple. That kind of attachment you will start developing. So this is how you progress in bhakti. Like how we see the Astanga Yoga, different things are there. Here also bhakti, various stages. And then finally bhava, where you will have the initial stage of love towards Krishna. In this case, in the bhava stage, you doesn't want to miss even 1 minute with forgetting Krishna. Even in the blink, eyes blink, the amount, the nimisha, whatever time it takes to blink, that much time also you don't want to miss Krishna's association. That time also that much time you don't want to miss Krishna's service. And finally, the pure love of Godhead. By the mercy of your Guru, spiritual master, you will attain the pure love of Godhead. That is where we try completely do everything for the pleasure of Krishna. So this is how the bhakti. So when we see the Astanga Yoga, how the Mother Devahuti and Dhritarashtra example we have seen, but that is not practical in the current day life. But what is practical? Bhakti. Bhakti is the easy path. This is the step where these are the various stages in bhakti. You gradually progress and finally you achieve perfection. In the Astanga Yoga, you will have a samadhi state where you will have a transcend the pure bhava and prema bhakti. The prema, pure love of God. These are the final stages. So we can see that the various differences. So in case of Astanga Yoga, what is happening? Mainly, you try to regulate your activities. You control your activities. Like yama, niyama, all those things are, you are regulating your activities and the lifestyle, so that your body is ready to fix your mind on Supreme Lord. Whereas in your Bhakti Yoga, what is that? We are not withdrawing any senses, we are not stopping any activities, rather we are doing the devotional services. By doing devotional services, we are fixing your mind on Krishna, the Supreme Lord. So both are opposite. One side, we are completely, we are detaching what exactly we are doing? We are disengaging our activity senses from the sense objects. But in the case of Astanga Yoga, but in case of Bhakti Yoga, we are engaging our senses. The two opposite. So in our normal sense, you see, in our conditioned material life, our mind cannot be idle. We cannot stop doing things. It's a mentally or physically. Every time mind will be thinking. Such mind, if you try to disengage, it's not practical. So you need to go to very isolated place and focus your mind, and then only you can bring your mind, and after some time again it will come back to the distraction will be there. So fixing the mind, disengaging the senses to the sense objects is not practical. Whereas in bhakti, you are not disengaging anything, you are not regulating, you are forcefully not controlling anything. Rather, you happily you are coming. If you think someone is cleaning the temple, you involve in that service. Somebody is doing garland, you will join. So voluntarily you will come and do the activities. That will not put any pressure on you, right? That it will, you are happily, voluntarily you will be doing. And in case of Astanga Yoga, you have to go to secluded place, very isolated place, go to caves or forest or mountains, Himalayas, where you will perform your meditation to get it, so to avoid all the disturbances. Whereas in your Bhakti Yoga, you have to associate with the devotees. You are not escaping that crowd, rather you are coming into the crowd and taking part in the and developing your sadhana and bhakti. And in Astanga Yoga says you are fixing your mind on Supreme Lord. But whereas in this case, Bhakti Yoga, what is you are doing? You are coming to the temple. You are taking the darshan of deity. You are performing various services to you. If you are a pujari, you are decorating the deities. Or if you know cooking, if you are cooking nice bhoga for Lord. You are making garland. There are so many services. We are not just mentally fixing your mind, but rather we are engaging in various activities to see that take the darshan of deity, to take the darshan of Lord. But whereas in the Astanga Yoga, you are completely fixing your mind and meditating on Lord form. There also we are seeing the Lord form through mind. But whereas here, physically with all our senses, we are seeing the Lord form and performing various services. So, and when you attain the perfection of Astanga Yoga, the energy is powerful. Like you will get so much energy. And like example, we see Dhritarashtra. His body was burned into ashes. Whereas when you do the highest stage of your bhakti, what will happen? If you see the Mother Yashoda Damodar pastime, Krishna surrendered. You will, one side, you will get so much power, you will go back to Godhead. But here in Bhakti Yoga, you will get pure love of Krishna and Krishna will come to you. When you see the pastimes of Mother Yashoda Damodar Leela, Mother Yashoda was trying to bind Krishna. And she was keep on escaping. Finally, Krishna saw Mother Yashoda's sincerity and her effort. Then he himself surrendered to Mother Yashoda. That is the potency of bhakti. We can see the both analogies of Astanga Yoga and Bhakti Yoga, the differences. How we are, one side we are trying to control the things, other side we try to do the services without any restriction. And the results also we can see. One side Krishna is surrendering to the devotee, and other side we are fixing your mind and you try to go back to Godhead, and you get so much material energy, power, so much power in your body. So these are all the various differences we can see. With this different comparison, we can see Bhakti Yoga is the easy path in our conditioned state in the Kali Yuga life. Now, the text 29 was talking about surrendering to the Lord and how Lord takes care. So, if you see the purport, the 29th, one of the purport, it was once one surrenders unto the service of the Supreme Lord, the Lord takes charge of maintenance of the devotee's body, and there is no need of anxiety for its protection. So, this is what Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita also, right? In 18th chapter, Krishna was saying, surrender unto me, sarva dharman parityaja mamekam sharanam raja, right? Krishna is telling devotees to surrender to Supreme Lord. But in return again, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying that Ananyasita yento mam yejana paripasite tesam nitya vijuktanam yogakshemam vahamyam. Ananyasita, without any deviation, you fix your mind on me, Krishna is saying, then I'll preserve what you have, I'll give what you lack, and I'll preserve what you have. So Krishna will ensure that he will not have any disturbance in the bhakti path. Whatever is required in bhakti, if you are not having, then he will arrange it. Like in case of Arjuna, we see Krishna knows that Arjuna has to fight in the Kurukshetra war in future, so he ensured that he got all the weapons, everything. From Indra it is from Shiva Pashpatastra, and Gandiva from Indra. He secured many weapons, everything. So Krishna arranged everything, considering the thing. He gave all the strong weapons and everything he arranged. See, many places we can see, like Kunti Maharani prayers also Krishna, Kunti Maharani was saying, he was always there to protect the Pandavas and the Kunti Maharani, everyone. Krishna is always protecting. So Krishna always protects the devotees, those who surrender to Ananyasi, without any deviation, only single point of focus. If you fix your mind on Supreme Lord, he will protect. Same thing we can see in the Devahuti. Devahuti's mind is completely fixed and she is able to, she gets the protection from the Supreme Lord. And we have another verse in Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, when Kardama Muni was praying to, when Lord Vishnu appeared to Kardama Muni, he was praying this verse, he was offering the prayers. This was 3.21.27. Sorry, 17, 3:21:17. Lokam cha lokan ugatan pasumsta hitva shiteste charanata patram parasparam tvad gunavada sidu peyusha nirya pitadeha dharma. The translation goes like this. However, persons who have given up the stereotyped worldly affairs and the beastly followers of these affairs, and who have taken shelter of umbrella of your lotus feet by drinking the intoxicating nectar of your qualities and activities in discussion with one another, can be freed from the primary necessity of the material body. So what it is saying, if you are involved in some stereotyped material activities, like see everybody in this material world, what exactly? Eating, sleeping, mating and defending. These are the common activities everybody in the material condition people are doing. But those people who come out of those activities, who associate with the devotees, who glorify Krishna's pastimes, who discuss with other Vedas, discuss the other devotees, qualities of Krishna, glories of Krishna, pastimes of Krishna. When you discuss with nectarian pastimes, what will happen? Your Krishna will, the last line, you can, with another one, can be freed from the primary necessity of the material body. Whatever the primary necessities for your material body needs, that can be freed. The Krishna takes care of all the material needs. Like we can see many examples in our Srimad Bhagavatam. Like Parikshit Maharaj was listening Bhagavatam from Sukadeva Goswami last 7 days. He was completely absorbed in listening Bhagavatam. He did not take any food. He did not drink water. 7 days, 7 nights, completely absorbed. What is how he got that? When you are listening the Krishna Katha, when you are listening the qualities, all the pastimes of Krishna, your bodily needs will be taken care by Krishna. Same thing we are seeing in this today's verse 29. When Mother Devahuti was fully engaged in the absorbed in Krishna and her bodily needs were completely, she was not feeling any bodily needs. She needs some water or she needs food. She is not having any kind of feeling because the Krishna takes care all your material needs. This is where one example Parikshit Maharaj, even case of Ambarish Maharaj, when Durvasa Muni cursed Ambarish Maharaj, and Ambarish Maharaj did not retaliate anything to Durvasa, simply he was praying the Lord. Lord came, protected everything. Finally, Durvasa Muni traveled every place. Nobody was able to, like the Lord released Sudarshan Chakra. And finally, Durvasa Muni traveled everywhere. Shiva, Brahma and Vishnu also finally took the shelter of Ambarish Maharaj. Then he was, so when you fully devoted to the Lord, Lord takes care of your material needs. Finally, in case of our Srila Prabhupada, he went to at the age of 70. That is the age where people, retirement life, people happily live in the house and do whatever, even they do not do any work. At that age, Srila Prabhupada traveled America and he had so many struggles. But Prabhupada had strong faith on Krishna and his Guru Maharaj instructions and he continued. So once he established ISKCON, how he was doing, he was like daily night up to, I think daily 2 to 3 hours he sleep and rest of the night he used to completely write the commentary and Srimad Bhagavatam and all the other scriptures, right? So all is like, if you see the Prabhupada was having the less sleep, everything is not very, he was having all the material needs are very minimal. He's taking it, he's taking the sleep, he's having the prasadam, everything, but all are in a minimal. The needs are very minimal. Without having the proper only 2 to 3 hours of sleep, he was able to continue all the services. So what this verse we can say that whenever we devoted, when we surrender to the Lord, when we do perform devotional service, when we fix our mind and Krishna and do all the services sincerely, Krishna takes care of our needs. It doesn't mean that okay, we don't need to sleep anything, we don't need to have prasadam. No, what we can take this from this verse, whatever austerities we do, We take one small little austerity. Don't worry about your bodily pain. Little austerity. Don't need to stop taking food. No need to do all the stop sleeping, having sleeping. But take little austerities. When you perform little austerities, pleasure of Krishna, Krishna takes care of your bodily needs. That way you gradually progress. So same thing we can see in case of Devahuti. She was completely absorbed in her meditation and her body needs were taken care of. She was not feeling any bodily needs and other whatever physical body needs required, the Kardam Muni created the celestial damsel, they were taking care of. And she was not feeling physically, she was not feeling any requirements as such. That is why Krishna's hand we can see, Krishna's protection we can see. So so the main summary is conclusion from these two verses is we compared Bhakti Yoga and Astanga Yoga. Astanga Yoga is not practical in the current age, so Bhakti Yoga is an easy thing. And when we do Bhakti Yoga, when we do surrender with single mind focus, with single attention focus, when we fix our mind on Krishna, Krishna takes care of your bodily needs and you can progress on your Bhakti happily. So I will conclude here. Any comments, any corrections? Yeah. Prabhu, I did not refer that, but yeah, I think similar in the similar line. Yes, the word I took the words from third canto. I did not refer. Sorry, Prabhu. Second canto, second chapter. That a fully surrendered soul has no anxiety about the maintenance of the body, his body. I didn't check that, but I can check and update you. Any other comments? Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. Yeah. See, the two differences I can see here. Her mind is completely engaged in the service of mind focus on Krishna, but whereas in other case, she was completely serving her husband. He's a devotee. The serving the devotee for doing for a long time. But one that is one aspect. So that here she is directly engaged in Krishna. He is engaged in the service of devotee. That is one thing. And second thing, it is like she got that time she doesn't have full realization. Right? She understood that she is her. If you see the lineage of her, the Swayambhuva Manu was a great devotee and Kardamuni also devotee, but she doesn't have the realization at that time. Just she know that she has to serve her husband. She is serving husband. But in this case, she got the realization after getting the instruction from Devahuti. She got completely convinced that okay, Supreme Lord is the only shelter. Right? That conviction, with that conviction, she is able to fix her mind. But in that initial case, she is not having the realization at that time, right? Full realization. Maybe she is a devotee, but at that time she is doing her services as her service to her husband. Yeah, that's how we can see the difference. Yes, when you realize and that's what the realization is the driver thing. When you realize something, you will practice sincerely. Whatever disturbances come, you will follow, practice it, right? That. Yeah, because you will see the result. When the Lord is pleased, Kardamuni was pleased, then she took care of her, right? She created a big mansion and she took everywhere and she was there with the kids. Everything happened. There also we see the reaction. But Mataji's context was, okay, her body became thin. That in that context, one difference I could see between these two scenarios, here she was fully realized, she fixed her mind with conviction. Other side, she was the devotee, she is a part of the devotee, she is serving her husband nicely. But there also her body is changed, but that did not impact her service. Right? Even though bodily impact was there, but that is not stopping her service. There also, yeah. So the differences are there, but we can see various reasons we can analyze. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर भक्त वृंद की जय।